Welcome inside Lucas Oil Stadium, the site of a Colts Week 13 loss to the Houston Texans, 20-16, in a tough one to swallow. Division games count double. Colts unable to get it done against the Houston Texans. A lot going on in this game. All you need to know is the Colts have lost 3 of their last 4 games, dating back to that loss in Pittsburgh, kind of where things started to unravel a bit on the offensive side of the ball primarily. But now this AFC South division is extremely tight. The Colts and Jaguars sit at 8-4. The Houston Texans 1 game behind at 7-5. This last 5-game stretch is massive for the Colts. They go to Jacksonville. They got a Monday Night Football date with the San Francisco 49ers. They go to Seattle, and they got Jacksonville-Houston yet again. So twice against Jacksonville, you go on the road to Houston. That's your division. It's going to be decided right there. Let's bring it back to this Week 13 matchup, 20-16, the final. This was a rock fight, back and forth, back and forth. Colts were hanging in, making plays they needed to make. They were feeding Jonathan Taylor. He had 21 carries, just 85 yards in this football game, but they were giving it to him, giving him space, getting Alec Pierce involved, Tyler Warren involved, both guys with a touchdown, both with really impactful plays throughout this game. It's fun to see the maturation and the impact that Alec Pierce has had on this Colts offense this season for the young man. 4 receptions, 78 yards, and that awesome jump ball touchdown in the end zone. Colts went into halftime break trailing 10-6. It was 13-13 in the fourth quarter. A third and long for the Houston Texans, and this is where the game really shifted. Over the middle, and you've probably seen it by now, a pass interference call on Kenny Moore that just simply was not a pass interference call. That receiver slipped. Kenny Moore didn't touch him. Unfortunately, you can't review that play. The Texans, of course, go on to score. Nico Collins ran it in. And then on the PAT, upon replay, it feels like that PAT was no good. So it was an interesting stretch. The Lucas Oil Stadium crowd kept booing for about 20 minutes post that sequence, kept booing pretty much after every single play, this officiating crew. And I have to tell you, on a pass interference that didn't happen, on a play that should have been a delay of game, leading into a touchdown, leading into a PAT that was called good that was missed, I'd probably be not let it go either and be booing too if I was part of this crowd. But that's really where the game shifted. Obviously, the Colts had a chance to still win this game. They go down, they cut the deficit to 4 on a Badgley field goal there, and got a 4th down stop late in this game, had a chance with over 2 minutes to go. They were driving, but could not convert on a 4th and 9 after the 2-minute warning hit. So it's frustrating. There's no question about it. And it feels like the efficiency of this Colts offense is regressing a bit to the mean. That was what we've talked about this entire season when it comes to the Colts, is how efficient this offense has been. And they've still been good, but they haven't been to the level we saw when they started this season 8-2. So we'll see if they can flip the page and flip it quickly. I wouldn't even go as far as to say that they played bad, but it just isn't as buttoned up as it was to begin this season. And I think we've seen that now that the Colts have lost 3 of their last 4 games. Sitting at 8-4, it's where you want to be, but it feels like you're flirting with the wheels coming off here. That's at least how it feels when you talk to these guys in the locker room, when you see the play on the field. They're a play here, a play there, and just not as buttoned up as we've grown accustomed to seeing. So obviously that pass interference looming large. Colts having opportunities to win this game anyway. There's no question about it. So a tough one anyway to slice it. Losing to the Houston Texans here at home, 20-16. Again, we caught up with Shane Steichen along with these offensive players after the game on kind of what went wrong and what needs to be better ahead of Jacksonville next week.
Obviously very frustrating anytime you lose to a division opponent, especially at home. We got to get back on track this week against Jacksonville, get it cleaned up tomorrow, and take ownership and everything. Myself, everybody included. It's not about one person. We got to get it right. Obviously, that's the first time we've dropped 2 in a row this year. We got to get back on track this week.
What are your just general concerns about your offense, just from where you were to where you are?
Yeah, I think just staying on schedule. I mean, I think early on, we were 0 for 5 on 3rd downs early on, so we got to be better there to maintain drives. Efficiency on 1st and 2nd down. Don't put ourselves in, 2nd and long situations. So we got to get back on track there for sure. Look at that from a schematic standpoint and where we're putting guys and how we're doing things to help our guys out. Yeah, I mean, I love Badge, but he knows he's got to make those kicks, So we have faith in whoever we put out there.
Shane, what was your perspective of the sequence of pass interference, delay of game, AT that kind of shifted this game?
Yeah, it was tough. That was the official's call. I'm not going to get into detail on it, but I think a lot of people, saw it.
What's the most frustrating part of a loss like this?
When you have opportunities to win it, you know what I mean? You lose these tight games. Sometimes you win the tight games, but when you lose the tight games, it's frustrating because you're like, shoot, we could have had that, we could have this, could have had that. You look back, it's 3 or 4 plays when you lose the tight ones, and so we got to find a way to get those 3 or 4 plays when it is a tight game like that.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I think just got to find a way to make it. It's not always going to happen exactly how you draw it up, and you got to be able to make plays and make it work. So, I think we got to find a way to do that. It's critical in these games, and haven't been able to do it well enough.
How'd you feel today? I mean, obviously we know you're dealing with something, but like, just how if at all did it affect you? How did you kind of overcome it?
Yeah, felt good today. Yeah, just I think it will continue to improve week to week, and yeah, it felt pretty good today.
Did it feel at all similar, different to last week's game against the Chiefs?
Yeah, it felt better than last week.
When the team is losing, lost 3 or 4, and things are slipping a little bit, how do you keep it from slipping more and stop the winning?
Yeah, I think it just, you go back to work. I think, putting your head down and focusing on what we need to do to improve. I think everybody taking accountability and ownership of what we need to do, and certainly I play a big role in that. So for me, it's putting your head down and going back to work and making sure that I'm doing everything I need to do to put the team in a position to win games.
What is it about this Texans defense that you think made it kind of, I guess, more difficult for you all season-long points?
Yeah, I mean, I think they do a good job mixing up looks. I think the personnel is good. They rush the passer well. They got good guys in the secondary, and they got good schemes. So, hats off to them. They're a good group. But when you look at it, I think we know we've got to execute at a higher level.
Jake.
Every week's must win. This week was a must win. And I just think when you have that mentality, that's how those great teams become elite, is when they believe every win, every week is a must win because they realize, hey, we control our own destiny.
The late game plays, the drop by Josh Downs late, and then Michael Pittman got his hands on the ball. Just how uncharacteristic is it for those guys to not complete those plays?
Like I said, you want to make every catch. You want to break every run for 99 yards. But at the end of the day, it comes down to a level of focus. Like I said, we got to help Daniel out. We got to be in our spots. We got to make the plays. But at the end of the day, it's a collective effort.
What have you seen from Alec this year? Obviously, another 75-plus yard game.
Yeah, he's unstoppable. He's incredible.
Awesome. Thanks, JT. For now, this second straight game not reaching even 300 yards of offense.
Yeah, I think we just got to do a better job. I think it's getting to the point of the season. There's a lot of film on us out there, so we just got to do a better job. I think probably looking into like what teams are seeing and if things are becoming predictable and whatnot, and just find a way to use that to our advantage.
What's most frustrating after a loss like that, like division rival this season? Like what sticks out to you?
Losing the division rival.
What is, for you, the growth in that catch? We see it every week on display, but these yards per reception, when you take a step back, how have you grown in that category?
I think I'm just keeping up what I did last year on that category.
There's always a sense of urgency, especially when you play division games, knowing that you have so many more to play and how tight it is.
Yeah.
Does anything change, or how do you guys kind of get back on track after a loss like this?
Got a good thing. We got another one next week, another division game next week. That's gonna be a big one too.
How's your chemistry with Daniel just grown throughout the course of the season?
Oh, it's been good. He's done a great job of kind of getting us, like letting us know exactly what he wants and expects from us. So I think the communication's been great, and that's just helped the chemistry grow.
You guys as an offensive unit, it seems like there's a new guy every week that steps up, stat-wise, receiver-wise.
Yeah.
How much fun is that knowing, could be me this week, could be my buddy Pitt, could be Tyler, whoever it is?
Yeah, no, it's fun. We just gotta. We're playing team ball. We're doing a good job spreading the ball around. I think it's tough for defense to stop when you're not predictable.
When was the last time you played defense?
So I played a ton of safety. I actually played linebacker in college for a good month. Yeah. So
Did you think about picking that off and running it back?
I tried to. The ball came out a little it was it wasn't a good spiral. It was curved. Like I went for it and I just missed it. Like swing and a miss, right? So he hit me with the curveball slider.
I think that was kind of one of the better drives we had. So it was a play action that kind of helped us when we established the run game.
You talked about everybody's battling through something. Obviously, your quarterback is as well. When he's going out there leading by example, is that just another testament to everybody is kind of rising up and trying to fight and battle, especially given the magnitude of this one?
Yeah, I think Daniel kind of always, everything he does sets a good example, and especially with, what he's dealing with, it's awesome to see him out there playing the way he is.
Houston was able to dominate time of possession. What made it just so difficult out there to sustain some of the longer drives this afternoon?
I think really getting the first down out of the way is always important. So that was something we could be better at, and yeah, I think when you do get that, it helps make the next first down and the first down after that a lot easier to get. So.
Given the magnitude of this one, just how disappointing, frustrating, whatever description is, to walk out with this loss, knowing how many of these divisional games, how critical they will be through this next stretch.
I think any time you lose, obviously it's going to be not what you want and not what you're playing for the week. But and obviously divisional games are even more important. But we still got plenty ahead of us to focus on, and still not a lot of opportunity left. So that's kind of what you got to look at.
Throughout 3 of the last 4, have you noticed any common themes? Because there's some games there's turnovers, some games there's not. Is there anything in common between this kind of slump in the last month?
No, I mean, I think it's just kind of the ups and downs of football, right? We got to be as consistent as we can each week. I think from the offensive side of the ball, sustaining drives and putting points up on the board at the end of the day, however it might be, field goals or touchdowns is most important.
All right, so defensively, look, it's not that the Colts played poorly, but what really reared its ugly head to me was, again, this pass rush. It just isn't doing enough if you're the Colts. You got Wormley coming off the practice squad getting a sack. You got Adebawore getting a sack. Okay, I understand that. You're getting sacks, but it just feels like the quarterbacks are getting far too long in the pocket. If anything, these sacks are a result of a coverage sack down the middle of the field, which is why you get Sauce Gardner, right? And we'll talk about him in a second, but you're trying to give your defensive line more time, but it just feels like they're leaving a lot to be desired. C.J. Stroud, his first game back from injury, getting all day and half of tomorrow to throw, and they're picking up many, not one, not two, but many third downs, crucial third downs, were the Texans' offense against this Colts defense. So they were just giving them too many chances. And again, the Colts hung around offensively, defensively. I wouldn't go as far as to say they played poorly, but they just weren't making the play. It just feels not as buttoned up. Now, Sauce Gardner going out in the first quarter obviously is going to have an impact on this football game. There's no question about it. It looked like it was non-contact, and he was walking gingerly, limping significantly when he left the field in the first quarter. They deemed it a calf injury. He did not return to this football game. We saw him in the locker room after the game. Did not look good. Did not look like he was walking well at all. He had to have crutches. So that is just obviously something that you do not want to see. After trading 2 first-round picks and A.D. Mitchell for him, after he was really getting acclimated here, this was his first home game as a member of the Indianapolis Colts. So not what you want to see at all. There's no question about it. And the Colts defense, again, didn't struggle per se, but unfortunately just couldn't get the stops when they needed to get them. They did force a turnover on downs down the stretch of this game to give their offense a shot, unable to get it done when they were down 2016 and driving the field. So we caught up with these defensive players. Kenny Moore and Zaire Franklin talked about that pass interference call that happened. I think they took the high road. There's no question about that, but acknowledging that, yeah, it was a tough call, no doubt about it.
On his own position.
They said I touched him, so I did.
How much does a call like that change an entire drive?
It gives them momentum, give them, they're closer to the end zone.
For you guys, obviously, 2-game skid. You guys aren't used to this year. What's the mentality right now in this locker room?
Look in the mirror. We got a lot of things to clean up. We got to attack the week, and we got a good game on the road next week.
As a leader on this team, do you think about the plays that this team could have made versus maybe the calls that maybe were made in a situation like this?
What's the situation?
Just with the third down pass interference call.
Oh, that play?
Yeah. After the game, do you focus on maybe the plays that you guys as a defense could have made almost, if that makes sense?
Oh, personally, collectively, I think we all know what plays that we want to, have back. It's moving really fast out there. You want to make the best decision possible in a split second, and sometimes you're not on the right side of it. So, like I said, we got to clean it up and be better next week.
Kenny, you're on the 2-game skid, and you want to be playing your best football in November. Division play, a lot of it coming up. Does that change your sense of urgency of getting all this turned around?
I think after the bye week, we already was in a playoff mode. We want to be,
number one, we want to win the division. You know, we have all these goals, and the approach really doesn't change. You know, being in this point right now was having urgency, you know, playing together, doing our best to, you know, have complementary football out there. So the process doesn't change. You know, we just got to be better when the moment matters.
You guys have continued to streak turnover every single game on defense. How important will that be going forward?
It's always important to get the ball to the offense as many times as possible. We just got to be better and fanatical about it.
Kenny, did you get an explanation for it? I mean, obviously the game's moving fast, but did they explain the pass interference call to you?
I didn't approach him. He didn't approach me.
The ref said in the post-game interview that he was an army guy. Did you feel like he grabbed his arm at all?
Like I said with Mr. Kravis, you know, just being competitive. You know, it's a lot of things that's happening so fast, so, you know, splits of a second. So two guys being competitive, trying to go for the ball. I'm trying to get the ball from him. He's trying to catch it. So, you know, we just have to look at it.
Kenny, you guys have had a lot of big games at the end of the season where you had to come through last few years. What do you think you'll may face that again this year? What do you think will be different?
You know, this is a new year. You know, by record, by, you know, people on the team, the additions. We just have to, you know, play together. We're trying to play our best ball every single game, and we're trying to put our best foot forward every single day. So we're going to keep that approach.
What do you think of Alex defensive now?
Yeah, I mean, every great team's going to go through adversity in the season. You know, this is the type of thing that hardens you as a team and, you know, gives you an opportunity to grow and be better. So, you know, we just, at this point, this is where we're going to figure out the type of guys we got in this locker room, type of team we want to be this season. So just got to get back, you know, lock in and focus and be better.
There's always a sense of urgency late in the season, but knowing what the division standings are, how do you guys kind of turn it around?
I'll be honest with you, I feel like every game this season we've had extreme sense of urgency. Like, every game to me has felt like the most important game of the season. So I wouldn't really, obviously division games count double. You know, disappointed that we lost one at home, especially. But you know, this one hurts. This one hurts. But we're going to continue to focus in. We got a big game on the road next week.
That game next week, we know the history down there. How much are you guys using that as motivation? Not that you guys need it.
Yeah, I don't care about no history. It don't matter nothing to me. This is a brand new team. That's a brand new team. I don't care about nothing that ever happened down there. I'm looking forward to seeing them on the field on Sunday. I don't care about none of that.
How much did Sauce's injury impact you guys on defense today?
It was significant, to be honest with you. Sauce is an incredible player. You know, similar to when we lost Mooney pregame against AZ. You know, you lose a guy like that, you know, you got to pretty much shift the whole game plan, and, you know, a lot of the calls kind of go out the window without, you know, certain securities that you had when Sauce was out there. So it definitely affected it, but, you know, I felt like, you know, the guys that came in played great. Jay Jones and Kai, they came in and made some plays, and to help the team, you know, be in a position to win.
I got to ask you about one of the offensive guys, Alec. You've been playing with him for a while now. How has he grown? Obviously, he seems like a deep threat every single game.
Yeah, he's one of them. You know, I think he's one of those guys that easy to get typecast because of, obviously, he leading the league in, you know, yards per catch, but he got a full route tree. And, you know, I think he could line up against anybody and win on one-on-one. And that's the type of receiver you want on your team. So.
Zaire, is it, call or not, is it hard to kind of get back up after 3rd and 15? I think you get off the field and you see a flag thrown there.
Yeah, I mean, I ain't really see the play. You know, if there's a play I'm thinking about in the red zone, I thought it was delay of game too. So that's kind of tough. But listen, it's the NFL. You know, human error is a part of the game. You got to live with it regardless. So when a play like that happens, you know, my job as a leader to make sure we all ready to move on to the next play. And that's all I did.
I think it's like a strain. I think it's a strain.
Did you fear the worst when you go down?
Not for real. I felt like I got like shot in the calf or something, but it was like high, so it wasn't. I wasn't fearing. I wasn't thinking of the worst.
So you said it was high. It's higher in the calf.
Yeah, I don't think it's like Achilles or nothing like that.
So you have to go get a scan at some point.
Yeah, I think I'm going today. Yeah.
I guess what's going through your mind when you're blocking at one point or getting blocked and then you're going up the field and you need some help to get back there?
You know, just wishing I could be out there. The normal stuff, you know what I'm saying?
So what do you think of how your unit performed once you went
I wasn't able to watch that much, obviously, when I came in, but it was like hard to like be so in tune because I kept thinking about this. You know what I'm saying? So I really had to just watch the tape for real just to analyze that.
Did you avoid an Achilles injury, or is that something you have to find out later?
I wouldn't just say like avoid, God got a plan for everything. So, I don't think that's what it is, but that's all God, just slowing me down a little bit for greater reason.
Mentally, what are the emotions that you're fighting off, not being able to play most of what felt like a real big game like that?
It was tough, because I was looking forward to like the matchup and everything. I was looking forward to like my first home game here, But, yeah, it happens.
All right, thanks, Austin.
So yeah, there's no question. It's a tough one. It's a tough loss for the Colts, 20-16 at the hands of the Houston Texans. Again, this AFC South division is tight. You got the Jags and Colts at 8-4. You got the Houston Texans at 7-5. And a lot's going to be decided for the Colts down the stretch. 3 of their last 5 games, division games, 2 of which on the road. So it just cannot be overstated the importance of those games. And oh, by the way, the other 2 games they got is a Monday Night Football date at home against the 49ers and a road game against the red-hot Seattle Seahawks. So, it's just not going to be easy down the stretch, but you got to beat good teams to go where you want to go. The easiest path to the playoffs is winning the division. The division's right there for the taking if you're the Indianapolis Colts. You control your own destiny against the Jaguars and the Texans down the stretch of this season. So all that should matter is the division. You got a division game against the Jaguars on the road next week in a place you haven't won since 2014. That's all they're going to hear about all week. We asked Zaire Franklin, you heard him say it. He does not care about the narrative around that place and that team. It's 2 different teams, and I have to agree with him. You just got to go there and take care of business by any means necessary. It does not have to be pretty if you're the Indianapolis Colts, but you got to get it done because right now things seem to be like a little bit shaky. You gotta tighten it up, and you gotta flip the page. You gotta do it quickly if you're the Colts. 8-4 as it stands right now. Again, you would have taken that if I would have told you at the beginning of the season. The goalpost has moved though when you have the start the Colts had, and we'll see if they can keep it going here with the last 5 games looming large this season. Keep it locked right here on Channel 13 on WTHR Plus, on air, online, everywhere. We're talking about Colts coverage. You gotta keep it locked on Channel 13. For now, Dominic Miranda here at Lucas Oil Stadium. We'll see you next time.